I'm not going to repeat that again. So if it's clear, then great. If it's not, well, you can ask somebody else or figure it out. I'm not going to repeat that again because here I go again, trying to explain stuff and extend my energy. Some things are just going to have to figure out based off of common sense. So some things I may not tell you about. You just have to figure out what is just right to do. Doesn't it look weird if some of you are standing in a room while I'm trying to enjoy time with my family? Like, doesn't that look weird, and doesn't that look strange, and doesn't that look bad and embarrassing? I'm trying to enjoy time with my family, and I'm looking at the person standing and just standing there or sitting there waiting, trying to hear the information, can't fit in that room where the Amenten meeting is going on, only there because you have to be there. And you're only there because and you're probably not clear on the information. You're probably bored. You're probably thinking, oh, why am I here? Why couldn't I just leave? All those kind of things. You're sitting there, I'm having a conversation with a family member. Nope, you need to leave. I hope that's clear. I'm not going to say it again. Now, here's another thing I want to chat about. Full stop. Full stop. Guess what's going to happen if one of you come to that address? You will be waiting on that porch for a long time until you have to leave. I will not engage with any one of you over. Okay. So if one of you from the Amenten, if somebody comes knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell to that address, and you're sitting there having a question, having a concern, and you want me to, and you think, you have an idea in your mind that I'm going to come to the door and answer your question and take care of your concern. Absolutely not. You are going to spend all that time and energy coming to that address. Okay, I'm not talking about during the Amenten meeting. I'm talking about today, this afternoon, when I'm over there. I'm talking about any other time that is not 10 a.m. in the morning, that is not when you are all invited and expected to be there. Any other time besides that Amenten meeting, and you will find that all that energy and all that time and effort that you took to come to that address so that you could stand on the porch and I could open the door and answer your question, guess what? All that effort that you took will be a complete waste of time. It'll be all for naught. Okay? Because I will not go to the door and answer your question. I do not care if you lost your computer. I don't care if you don't have any internet. I don't care if it's the most important thing in the world. I don't care if something's really bad that happened with my Amenten when I'm gone for only 2 days. I don't care what it is. Do not, under any circumstance, come to that address and knock on the door and bother me. Because you are invading and you are stepping over the line. You are crossing the line. And you are taking away the time that I could be spending with family. You will be an embarrassment to me standing out there and waiting. It'll be embarrassing. If something happens and you end up standing there and waiting, and you come there wanting to, you have a concern, you have a question, you stand out there waiting. This time, I will not engage. The next time that somebody from the Amentens, even Susan, Linda, or Daniel. They're included in the soup too. Even, the next time that's an official from the Amentens, any one of you, them, come to that address, well, you're looking at, probably, I don't know. It'll kind of be on the verge of getting the police involved. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to go that far. I think I'll just make the right choice, do the right thing, and don't come there. Do not come there under any circumstance. Guess what? If you have a question, if you have a concern, and you have to ask me, and it is essential that you ask me. It is absolutely necessary that you ask me, and you don't have your and you don't have your computer, you don't have your phone. There's no way to contact me, and it's absolutely necessary. And you need to ask me that question. You need to tell me about that concern. Guess what? It does not matter. Nothing. No question or concern will be enough to bother me while I'm with my family. I will not be that accessible to you. I really will not, because then I would be overstepping my boundary. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not worth coming there and having me get mad at you and then not answering your question, and then you're just leaving feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, unfulfilled, or it's not worth just coming and then having to stand there at the door and wait until you realize, this was a waste of time. I shouldn't have come here. Let's go. I don't think that any of you want that. Do any of you want that? Having a question or concern, and then you come there and have to wait until I didn't come to the door and answer it and, respond to it? I don't think that any of you want that, so don't come. Unless it is during the Amenten meeting, unless it is at 10 a.m. in the morning when you are expected to be there. I hope that I make myself crystal clear to everyone here. Good. Any question that you need to ask me or want to ask me or any concern, you will have to wait until that Amenten meeting. Until after I am done giving that information. Susan and Linda and Daniel are done giving the information, or guess what? Guess what? You might not even get your questions answered by me. Because something might happen, and you may have to leave. You may have to leave, get back on the bus, go back to that building. Susan, Linda, and Daniel may continue the meeting, and you will not probably get a chance to ask me until you get home, until I am available again back here at the Amenten. So, there's a good chance that you'll have your questions answered, but there is also a fair chance that you won't. And again, it's that boundary, either by the several different boundaries that I've told you about earlier. I may have to stop the meeting and you may not get your questions answered by me. When I give those announcements, or when Susan and Daniel give those announcements, or all those kind of things, and you may not get your questions answered. And you may have to ask those questions when you get back. Come to me, ask whatever question that you need or want to ask, back at the Amenten. When you get back on the bus, when you get back here, okay? So, I will be open for questions. There will be time at the end of the announcements for you to ask those questions to me. However, if I have to stop, or I just really want to stop the meeting because I have the will and the autonomy to do that and the power to do that, if I have to or really want to stop that Amenten meeting or feel the need to stop that Amenten meeting, and you have questions that you had that you didn't get answered, and there's no way of communicating to me, there's no way of, emailing or, all this kind of things like that, you'll just have to wait until you get back. No matter how urgent or how serious those questions are, no matter how important they are, they will have to wait. Now, that being said, all of you should have your computers, and all of you should remember to bring them, and bring a charger. All of you should have my email. All of you should know my email. If you have any questions, please email me, or please email Susan, Linda, or Daniel. They will be delighted to answer those questions. That is how you can get into contact with me, aside from that Amenten meeting. So, coming there uninvited and unannounced is not going to be tolerated. I will not bend the rules for anybody. There's no compromises. There's no exceptions to that. I hope it's clear to every one of you, because I'm not going to deal with the same thing I had to deal with last time. Guess what? I'm sorry if it was an embarrassment. But you're the ones to blame, not me. I was just making clear what is not acceptable. Well, I guess you should have thought of that before you came to that address the last time. Yep, that's all on you. Don't blame me, because it's not my fault at all. Don't blame me. You know what you did wrong. Time to shape up and do the right thing. Hope that that's clear. You'll hear your announcements. I will give them to you. But if there's something better to do, something more important that I could be doing with my time, or interacting with somebody else, guess what? It may be a short Amenten meeting. I may not even get through all my announcements. I may not even get through the announcements at all. I may get through all the announcements. Susan, Linda, Daniel may get through all or some or none of the announcements. It all depends. It really all depends. We'll just have to see. Now, hopefully you have got your stuff packed and you've got your stuff ready to go. I certainly have. That's why I'm doing this. I could be making a video about the soul return right now, but I'm not. Recognize that. Recognize what I'm doing for all of you right now. And recognize that I could be doing other things, but I choose to do this because I want to. Oh, there it is. All of you need to leave right now.